what drew you to acting originally?
Yeah, I mean, I started acting at 3. So I think it was something that I was put on this earth to do, not only to act, but to inspire. But basically, I told my mom I wanted to be on TV and I wanted to be a superstar. And thankfully, I have a great mom who's one supportive, but also a great businesswoman. And she was like, okay, if you're 3 and you're saying what you want to do, let's try it. I
Mhm.
don't know if she expected it to stick and work, but thankfully it did.
And how quick did it take off? Like what was
Um,
that launching point?
yeah, my mom took some digital or disposable, rather, camera pictures of me on the camera and sent them to a few agencies. And I think I got a agent a couple weeks later, and then I booked my first
Wow,
commercial a couple weeks after that.
that's incredible.
Yeah,
Good for you.
thank you.
And going forward to present day, what was it about The Last of Us that drew you to work on the show? Was and were you always in line for Riley, or was there other possibilities?
No, I was always in line for Riley. As soon as they sent over the opportunity, I read some of the pages they sent over, and I was super intrigued, a little confused because I didn't play the game, so I had no idea what was going on. But once I talked to Craig Mazin and Neil and the producers and everybody a part of the creative team, I quickly realized that they had something special in their hands and that they had a vision. And I'm just so thankful that they let me be a part of it.
Did you ever go back and play the game?
I have not played the game yet. I want to. It's one of my summer plans. I just finished my sophomore year at USC. So over the summer, while I'm relaxing, I will be learning how to play The Last of Us.
Congratulations. It's going to be really odd for you because I think, like I said, it does blur that line of
Yeah.
them capturing it so well on screen, and that could be a bad thing with a lot of the video game adaptations, but for this it's perfect because it's really one of the most engaging and just captivating games
Thank
that I've
you.
ever played. So
Yeah, no, I'm
um
a part of it.
and the series is honestly even better than that. I was drawn in from the early seconds and straight through. It was just like it keeps you completely immersed in this, like you forget. Yeah, I think it might have to do with we went through COVID, but you kind of forget that this is not the real world, and
Mhm.
and this you can really relate with these characters. So what are are there some similarities between you and Riley?
I mean, yeah, I think what drew me to Riley is she's very strong-willed and she's gonna fight for what she believes in, and she's not one to cower down
Mhm.
um to ideas that she doesn't think are right, or she doesn't try to conform to what society thinks you should be doing or saying or feeling. And I think I'm similar in that way. Of course, we have different circumstances and I'm not living in a post-apocalyptic world. So our views are a little different, but I think the basis of who we are as people, of loving who you love, fighting for what you believe in, and taking risks, I think are similarities.
So you don't call people fascist dickbags?
I don't. I might try to use a more eloquent way of saying that, but I will definitely get my point across, just like Riley.
So what was the reaction? So your mother helped you launch this career. What was her reaction to it? And how did she see you and Riley kind of blending?
Yeah, I mean, my mom thankfully is still travels on set with me, but my mom is, doing so much other things like running our production company and her own business ventures, and just day-to-day life stuff that she has to handle, that she is usually occupied all day on set while I'm working. So she's in the trailer, working or working out, or handling business. So she didn't really get to see much of what we shot. She saw a little bit of the stunt rehearsal when we did the Halloween scene, but I say all that to
Mhm.
say she didn't see much of it. So when we watched the episode, she was fully surprised and really enjoyed it. and we had watched the series, not together, but we would watch an episode and like talk to each other on the phone about it before my episode came out. So I think we just really enjoyed and were fans of the series even before my episode.
It's such a beautiful episode, and I mean, heartbreaking but beautiful. Did you cry watching it?
I did tear up a little bit. I wasn't expecting to, but I think I was just so overwhelmed with emotions. I was just so grateful, and I had my team had thrown me a little watch party get together. So I had a lot of my loved ones and my friends and my team and my peers watching it. So I don't typically enjoy watching myself, but that was the most comfortable I felt. Because I think I really just enjoyed every moment of it. And it was just beautiful for me to get to share that moment with people that I love. So it was an emotional moment. Yeah.
That's nice. And it's so nice to see in the middle of this hell that there's these kids being kids and getting this moment to just do the most kid thing ever, go to the mall. Was it shot in an actual mall or what?
Yes, well, some of it was shot on stage, and then the majority of it was shot in a actual abandoned mall in Canada, which was wild.
Wow.
I'd never been in an abandoned mall before, but I think set deck and special effects and everybody that had a hand in making it look visually as cool and stunning as it did an amazing job, and I was blown away by their work. And I think they really depicted what the game looked like and made it and to a show.
So when you're in this massive situation, this massive mall, this decaying mall, does the weight of the situation, being in that environment kind of hit you and help you with your performance?
I think so, a little bit. I mean, it was definitely eerie in there, a little dark, a little scary, very dusty. So it did give the feel of like a post-apocalyptic world, which I think helped inform our performances.
So after this break from reality, from the reality that they're currently in, we have Ellie's first kiss, followed by this incredible loss as Riley dies, which it's just again heartbreaking. What do you think the two meant to each other in their brief time together?
Yeah, I mean, I think Ellie and Riley mean everything to each other. They're best friends, and I know we don't see them like living together or sharing a room. They once did, and they were each other's only friends, really. So for that to just, in such a beautiful moment where, everything feels like it's going right, for it to take a left, I feel like both of them, they processed it differently as we saw. But the gravity of that was very, very, very heavy for both of them. And the fact that Ellie has to go on and move on day by day while also continuing to be reminded of Riley and what happened to Riley and kind of seeing it play out in different scenarios, I think can't be easy. But I think it was a little less taunting for Riley because Riley's very realistic and she knew that this could happen. Of course, she didn't want it to happen in this moment, but she was like, at the end of the day, it happens to all of us. So it just depends on what time it is. So I think they did an amazing job of depicting that and depicting their relationship, not only in that moment, but the entire episode.
Yeah, well, it's great because you both Joel and Ellie seem to be carrying much more. Well, Joel's story, but you don't really know Ellie's. So when it's revealed, you see, like, she seems a little broken, and now you understand, and it's like it just adds incredible weight to everything you saw beforehand. And I haven't watched it all the way through again, but I'm sure it will factor into my rewatches.
Right.
And what was the two of you have great chemistry. What was it like working together?
Yeah, I mean, Bella, they are incredible. The way that they command the screen is so amazing, and they're just so talented, so sweet, so brilliant. I was amazed by not only their talent, but just the well, I can't even talk, the humility that they have. And we had such a fun time together. We were always joking, getting to know each other. We're the same age, so we have similar interests. So I got to spend about a month with Bella, and I had a
Wow,
great time. Yeah.
that's great. Yeah, it shows up, they really feel, you two really feel like friends on there, and you see that connection, which is so important,
Yeah.
obviously, because if it doesn't, then the end doesn't, really hit you as hard as it does.
Right. Yeah. That was the goal.
So you have this, you know, the fun parts, playing in the arcade and dancing and all that, and then you have the infected chasing you around.
Mhm.
Um, how was it dealing with the infected on set? It's just scary to watch? Is it as scary like when you're acting it out?
It is a little scary because of course, things get hectic. And just seeing him for the first time, the stunt guy that had the infected mask on, that was a little frightening. I was like, whoa, like who is this person? But I mean, even though it was a little scary and a little challenging, I think we love that sequence because we try to get that choreography with the stunts down. As best as possible, and I think we really did a good job. So it's challenging to juggle things, especially when the emotional stakes are high and you're coming off of a really good moment. Then you have to go
Mhm.
into this fight or flight moment, and then everything just kind of turns sour. So it was a lot to capture, but I think they did a really good job.
I think they did excellent. Was there anything that they did, the directors or on set, to kind of create the tone for you? And did they? I don't know. Did some of the extras scare, not the extras, but the infected scare you, or like do anything like try to ramp it
No,
up
I
at all?
mean, I think Liza and Craig, Liza was our director for that episode. I think Liza did an amazing job of trying to with that scene and every other scene, just letting us know where we were in that moment in the world, what
Mhm.
moments happened before, what moments happen after, just to inform our performance. And just being collaborative as possible. And when we have thoughts or ideas or we want to try something, she was open to that, and of course Mr. Craig was open to that. So I think just collaboration is what made it what it is.
Is there anything that you can tell me that you brought to the part? Anything,
um
ideas?
I think it was just the certain nuances that Riley had, or the certain movements she would make, or looks that um she would have. I think those are the moments where I really just try to bring out Storm, or bring out as much as of me in that
Mhm.
moment as possible. I can't point to a certain instance where I was like, oh yeah, that's a choice that I made, but I try to be intentional throughout the entire process.
That's great. Yeah, acting is a mystery to me. So when I always try to get a peek behind the curtain and try to understand, how you get all that emotion and how you can just like, and it's amazing thing. It's there forever. Millions of people have watched it. Millions of people have been affected by it, and it's just, essentially it's just the two of you and what you bring to the screen.
Mhm.
Um, what is it? Is there anything that you hope that viewers take away from the episode or from Riley?
Ooh, I mean, I think that episode is a perfect representation of fighting for the people you love, and um, not taking things for granted, not taking moments for granted, because you never know what the next moment will look like. So if you can, try to relish in every moment, try to enjoy every moment, try to be grateful and thankful. And I think it was just a perfect representation of kids being kids, like you said, and young people loving each other, and young people discovering each other and discovering themselves. So I'm just, so honored to have been a part of it.
I love it. Great explanation. All right, so let me close out with an easy one.
Okay.
3 words to describe Riley.
Tough, inquisitive, loving.
Awesome.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, awesome.
So thank you so much for your time. Your career is on fire. You've been working with the biggest names on some of the coolest projects, and I'm looking forward to see what you do next.
Thank you so much. So nice to talk
Thank
to
you.
you. Thank you.
Nice to talk to you as well. Have a great day.
Okay. You too.
Bye now.